right, shout out to the fam. Welcome, welcome, welcome. You're now rocking with the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys, where we have intense, entertaining, educating, and enlightening sport talk from your favorite sports fam in this thing, man. Y'all hit that like button and that sub button, man. Let's get that out here. The Saints right now in this flash report are trying out kicker. Shout out to the Saints Wires. They were the one that kind of dropped the hint on it, as Blake Grupe was 1 for 3. Currently on the season, he's 74% kicking, which we've talked about it. Blake Grupe, we've been very patient with him, but early on, competition should have been brought in. We talked about on the previous broadcast this morning's recap stream that if you hadn't get an opportunity to check out that, please check that out. It's the fact that the Saints should have been doing some of this stuff. Now they're talking about accountability. It's a little late in the game for a lot of this stuff, as the frustration mounts with Kellen. You can see his energy's off because he has no answers for us. And it's starting to be repetitive, and he's starting to lose a lot of respect in the eyes of the Who Dat Nation because you're not really operating with accountability. But this is a good thing. When guys start struggling, it's not personal, it's business. You got to make the kick, especially in a controlled environment like the Dome. Disgraced former Ravens kicker Justin Tucker is the tryout for the Saints. Tucker at one point was the best kicker in the NFL. He's in, and we keep going back to the Ravens. I remember that's how we got Will Lutz. He was referred to us by Coach Harbaugh. Told Coach Payton, "Hey man, I got a guy for you," because he was in a head-to-head battle at the time with Justin Tucker, and Tucker's been the NFL's best kicker for a while. Well, disgraced kicker. Why? Because some stuff happened, but we'll get into it. Free agent tryouts happened. Saints fans were supporters rather on Monday. NFL media's Mike Garafolo and Ian Rapoport first reported that Baltimore Ravens kicker Justin Tucker was working out for the Saints after Blake Grupe missed 2 field goals in Sunday's loss to the Falcons. Nick Underhill, shout out to him, confirmed that report and added that former LSU Tiger kicker Cade York will also be trying out. So shout out to Nick Underhill. The Baltimore Banner published accusations from a half a dozen massage therapists alleging that Tucker sexually harassed them during private treatment sessions. That sound like your boy from the Browns, Watson. 10 others shared similar allegations afterwards. An NFL investigation found he violated the league's personal conduct policy, leading to a 10-game suspension to start the 2025 season. Tucker denied those claims, but did not appeal the suspension. Even if Tucker didn't have these allegations trailing him, he's still old and washed up. He just turned 36 and made a career low 73.3 of his field goal attempts last year. That's actually worse than what Group A is doing right now. So many people are eager to eject his connected on 69.2% of his tries and ranks 32 out of 35 kickers. Tucker would rank 31st. He would offer a marginal upgrade without being a real solution for the problem next year. While Cade York is much younger, he was drafted by the Browns back in 2022, and he hasn't been much better. He hit 75% of his field goals in his rookie year and was cut the next summer, bouncing around the league until he landed with the Bengals. Practice squad last season, he appeared in 5 games to hit almost 82% of his field goals, which is respectable enough, but he's really a small sample size. It's hard to have or find a good kicker this late in the game. Maybe the Saints would be better off giving Charlie Smith a turn after 2 years on the practice squad. This tryout would be could be a part of answering that question. This is a good point. And I was thinking about this, like the Saints do have a kicker. They do have a Charlie Smith, the international kicker is there. I understand them going and trying out Tucker and even Cade York. But yes, Charlie Smith's been with the Saints for the last couple of years. He has a cannon for a foot, or a leg rather, and he could be a guy that you would say, okay, and he's already been here. He's been working with the team. He's on the practice squad. Why not let him have a chance to do it? Give him a chance. And it's not like we're going anywhere. You know, the team is really in a free fall. So why not give these young players an opportunity to kind of step in and make it work? Plus, it'll be real inexpensive to give Charlie Smith an opportunity versus, and they're not going to break the bank to get Justin Tucker. But I can respect the fact that they are trying these veterans to see what they can do, regardless of what he did that last year with that 73.3%. Stepping away from the game and bringing them back could be something positive. We'll see what happens with develops from this. But also, there should be some other tryouts going on, not just for the kicker, right? There should be tryouts going for for a number of different positions for the Saints right now. Just bringing guys in. That's how they're supposed to go. Bringing guys in, trying guys out, moving guys, that's not playing repeat offenders, moving them off the team, bringing other people. That's how it's supposed to do or be until you find the right mix of people, right? Y'all hit that like button as we keep this thing going. I got another couple articles to kind of go over with you on this one. Shout out to the Saints on Sports Illustrated, brother Kyle T. Mosley, his team. Saints running back Alvin Kamara avoids worst case scenario after his exit, right? Positive update on AK-41. Let's talk about him. He had a scare on Sunday, but it sounds like the team avoided the worst case scenario. The Saints running back Alvin Kamara exited week 12 against the Falcons due to a knee injury. Unsurprisingly, there was some fear when Kamara went down, but unfortunately, the signs are currently pointing in the right direction. NFL's Ian Rapoport and once again Mike Garafolo reported on Sunday night that Kamara was believed to have suffered a knee sprain with the hope it being that he avoided a serious knee injury, right? That is good for AK-41. He was bent kind of funny on the tackle by Caden Ellis, right? Saints running back Kamara is believed to have suffered a knee sprain in today's game per Garafolo report wrote. He'll have an MRI that'll be done, but the hope is he avoided a major injury. Afterward, Nick Underhill reported that he had suffered an MCL sprain and did avoid a major injury. That's what's happening right there. At this point, this is the best news that Saints supporters could hope for. Unfortunately, the Saints bye week is already behind the franchise, so there isn't an extra week. The rest for the team coming up. The Saints will take the field next Sunday, November the 30th, against the Miami Dolphins. If Kamara needs to miss time anytime, Ricky Devon Neal and fellow running back Audric Estime are likely to get the bulk of the work. Also, Taysom Hill is in that mixture as well. But the fact that Underhill reported that Kamara avoided major injury is positive. That Kamara could miss a little time. Well, no problem with that. It's like I said, man, it's been tough sledding for the Saints toward the back end. We've been very fortunate to have a lot of our playmakers all up until this point, right? Chris Olave for the duration, Jawan Johnson for the duration. Most of these guys were relatively healthy. We had Elvin for a period of time. He was dealing with a little bum ankle, but still in all, he was available, right? So we should hear soon from the Saints as soon as today. First injury report comes on Wednesday, and we'll see what Coach Kellen Moore, he will brief us about this today, right? I'm a little early. All right, anyway, and just to keep this thing moving on, they're going to bounce to an article from Tom's Picayune. Shout out to Rod Walker, who mentioned 3 things we learned in the Saints' loss to the Atlanta Falcons. That's what it's called. 3 things we learned in the loss to the Atlanta Falcons. Let's get into this article right here. The Saints lost of course, we know we lost on Sunday 24-10. This is 3 things as the Saints dropped to 2-9. Fool's gold and black. Remember 2 weeks ago when the Saints went to Carolina and got a win? Yes, sir, we do. Then you looked at the remaining schedule and saw a slate of winnable games and thought, hey, man, the Saints may go on the run here and win 4 of the next 5 or 5 of the next 7. Well, think again. It's probably not happening. The Saints reverted back to their old ways Sunday and looked like the dreadful team that you saw for most of the first 10 weeks of the season. When the season is over and we look back at the game in Charlotte, we'll see that game was an outlier. That's true, bro. And not the day the Saints turned the corner. Indeed, that is an outlier or an aberration. It is something that just simply happened, right? That's number 1. Number 2, Kellen Moore was hired because he was supposed to be an offensive guru. It was hard to tell Sunday. By the way, the Saints struggled when they had the ball. The Saints' lone touchdown came from the defense when Justin Reed intercepted a ball and went to the house with it. It's too bad the offense didn't do its share of lifting. You're not going to win many games when you go 0-3 in the red zone. The play calling was questionable at times, like Taysom Hill's pass on a 4th and goal from 1. The execution wasn't great either. Bad snap on the 3rd and goal from the 1. And Tyler Shuck's numbers 30 of 43 for 243 and an interception were okay. But none of it matters when the team doesn't reach the end zone. 0-3, you were right on the goal line, couldn't punch it in. That speaks more to the guts of the offensive lineman and the will of your team. That has been one of the main things that you can't teach. I've been saying this for a while. A lot of these players do not supposed to be here. They do not have the willpower. They do not have the winning mind state to be able to be here. It all predicates on the minds of these players. If you go in expecting to fail, you will fail. It's like a self-fulfilling prophecy. And we see the Saints going on with it. I've been saying that this team, a lot of these players are castaways or leftovers from that losing Dennis Allen teams that we had the last 4 years. And a lot of these same stinking bum player mindsets are still on the team. And it pops up in situations where we want success, and these losing mentalities are the ones that bring the failure. It is a willpower game, mano y mano. The reason why the Saints are failing in the red zone, 0-3 in the red zone, no touchdowns after 2 weeks of practice is unacceptable. Kellen Moore with all the same stuff. And people are sitting up there saying, man, this dude is giving me Dennis Allen vibes. And he is, because Dennis Allen was another fake ass coach standing up here, not saying about Kellen because I actually like Kellen. But Dennis Allen's another one of these guys that stood up here and kept saying the same stuff over and over again with no accountability, no answers. You start to hear Kellen Moore regurgitate the same stuff over and over and over again. And people are noticing it and they're tuning that out. All right, then the final one, just for kicks. Blake Grupe had another rough day. He missed on what should have been a chip shot, 38-yard field goal, and then a 47-yard field goal in the final minute of the first half. Both were wide right. Ended up making a 33-yard in the fourth quarter to end his drought for the season. Grupe has made 18 of 26 for 69%. Before Sunday, Grupe seemed to have gotten back on track after a slow start. He had made 7 of the last 8 coming into Sunday, but his misses cost the Saints 6 points. It wouldn't hurt to give practice squad player Charlie Smith a shot. Indeed, they have a practice squad quick kicker there. Let the man go, man. Let him come on. Blake Grupe is not really doing well. He's been screwing up this whole season. Right, early on in the year, they should have been guys bringing guys in here to try out the kicking. Let Charlie Smith get a chance. It won't cost you a lot of money. Been with the team for the last 2 years, and he has a strong leg. Let him kick. He can't most certainly do any worse than Blake Grupe. Seriously, right? 69%. And the horrible thing is you're kicking in your own building in a controlled environment. There's no wind, no rain, none of that. And he's still kicking them to the right of it. That don't make no sense. And also, I don't want to hear the excuse about the long snapper or the holder or whatever. We're in week 12. We're in week 12. A lot of this is not supposed to be happening. But once again, it's speaking to the accountability model tied to these coaches. And what are they going to be doing? So it's not just the fact that kickers should be brought in for tryouts, but also I want to see offensive linemen being brought in, defensive linemen being brought in, DBs could be brought in. You could be bringing in a series of people in and out because this team is nowhere near what it's supposed to be. And some of these guys that's on this team, they need to go because they are sitting up here holding on to this losing thought process. And that's why the team is with 2 wins and no touchdowns in the game. A red hot rivalry game against the Falcons. It did not. Shout out to my dog Lou. I talked to him this morning, and I told him, I said, bro, listen, this is not this. This didn't have any sense of a feel of a rivalry game. These players on there were just going about it like it was a regular game. The family members knew it was hate week all week, and despite the records, teams fight and claw at each other. That did not happen. The Saints showed up and didn't do anything offensively. They couldn't even score a touchdown, and the Falcons wasn't doing nothing extremely difficult. The Falcons were getting ran on all season long, and the Saints couldn't do nothing. They can't either get into the red zone, can't even punch it in, get stopped on the 1 yard line. What is this? And then the guy rose. Not like I said, the problem is not so much on the quarterback, it's this coach with these play calling. He's the main offensive play caller, calling these stupid plays, man. I mean, these brain dead, dumbass plays that don't have any type of chance of exceeding anywhere. And anytime you take your quarterback off the field, when you can use Taysom, you can use Alvin, you can use these players together. This guy still don't know his talent. He still does not know how to use these people. And we're week 12 going into week 13. What are you doing? How do you not know this? Even if you had just gotten here early on and you studying film, you got an idea how to use Alvin or Taysom or any of the rest of these guys. This guy still don't know how to use these players together. And this is some offensive guru guy? I mean, damn, bro, I can understand the first 5 weeks of but we're in week 13 now. And this guy still don't know how to use these players together, man. He's still letting that screen door, I don't even call him a turnstile no more, that screen though, number 51, continue to play and get turned around. I mean, you're not serious about winning unless you really make the necessary changes to flip this stuff. And there are players on this team that are not supposed to be here. There are coaches on this team that's not supposed to be here. And unless this guy do a full audit of his team, including himself, this team is not going anywhere anytime. And that's not me being disagreeable, but I'm keeping it real so that you don't get your feelings too caught up in this stuff. And the Saints coming up here were rivalry games, and they can't even score a touchdown. In the red zone, 0 for 3. Like I said, man, it's just garbage. But in the end, man, Kellen Moore is going to talk at you and keep giving you these very boring and non-fulfilling press conferences and interviews where we got to do this and we got to do that, but nothing specific in nature on how they're going to do said things. They're practicing for weeks, and there's literally dozens of practices they done had to this point, and they're still not being able to do what's supposed to be done. I don't get it. I don't understand it. But at the end of the day, is there accountability there? It doesn't appear to be. It doesn't appear to be. But once again, man, it's time, man. It's time to change this around. But anyway, that's all I got for you guys today. Please do me a service. If you're not a member, hit the subscribe button, join up Tacoma. Hit the patreon.com/the Pro Media Network, or join my YouTube page here. And we'll be doing the TSC Patreon film work tonight on the Saints and Falcons, baby. What went wrong and why? We'll be paying some exclusive attention to the offense and what went wrong for the Saints offense and why we couldn't get in the end zone. We also look at a few things defensively as well, because this team, man, is on the plane to nowhere. They're on the plane to nowhere for real and heading there super fast. With that being said, spike the like button, hit the subscribe button, and I'm going to holler at y'all on the next one. Much love, peace.
Hey, New Orleans! Whether you're catching up on Saints news at Jackson Square, checking Pelicans scores in the Garden District, or staying updated on LSU while grabbing coffee in the French Quarter, there's one place that keeps you connected to everything that matters in our city. From Bourbon Street to the Superdome, from Preservation Hall to the Riverfront, New Orleanians are staying in the know with the WhoDatDaily.com. Your daily source for Saints, Pelicans, LSU, and all the sports, music, and culture that makes our city special. At work downtown, at a game in the Dome, or just relaxing by the Mississippi, wherever life takes you in the Big Easy, you can stay connected. Because when you're from New Orleans, you don't just live here. You stay in the NO. That's stay in the know. Visit the WhoDatDaily.com and never miss what matters most to Who Dat Nation. Stay in the NO, you stay in the know.
Welcome to the Pro Shop, where we create authentic NOLA-inspired clothing for men, women, and children. From Saints jerseys to Pelicans gear, everything's crafted right here in New Orleans. Whether you're shopping the Pro Shop, the Pel Shop, or the Pro Shop Kids, we've got your whole family covered with genuine merchandise that represents our city's spirit. Check for links in the description section below.